I think we're live. Hold on. There we go. Thought the clamp was a little off. Oh yeah, there it goes. All right, I'm live. That's right. Okay. I know I'm live because YouTube just reminded me that mid-roll ads earn a 20% uplift. Did you know that? A 20% uplift over non-mid-rolls. And now, since I refuse to allow auto insertion, what are we talking about? Ads. They want me to manually put it in, and they're egging me on. They're like, now! Oh, that is good. Though I'm worried. I feel like Costco. They're ending Kirkland coffee. We'll see. Might be stuck with Starbucks, which is up to like $24 from like $16. You know. I like this guitar. I haven't played a lot of guitar this week. Been a very busy week, but not for guitar. Oh, yeah, exactly. Only truckery ads are approved. Come on down to the truckery. We got trucks and truck-related accessories. What's up, Deanna? We got Mark, Michael, Tim, Pooh Ninja, Retro Puffer. And, of course, Trolls, Tony. How's it going? Gary, Ogre Lord, Yeti Matzi, Ian. Got a lot of doing the McCafe brand. Yeah. It's not bad. Good weather to get final house stuff done. Yeah, trust me, I know. So mad. And ads for off-track race betting. That was mine. I got a lucrative side gig running an off-track dog race betting racket. What's up, speaker? Got Bill, Monty, Larry, Ogre Lord, Andy, Hello, Apostemos in Greece. You're up late. Yeah, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. Oh, sure. Now you're talking. Now you're really getting your day going. Sausage biscuit with egg. Sure. The mic is coming on hot there, hot shot. You know, last week people said it was a little low, so we turned it up. Are we regretting that now? Do we not want them? See, careful what you wish for. You know what? I could probably check. Is that better? No, it's probably a little worse. How's that? A little better? Not so in your face. Check 1, 3. Much better, yeah. Do. F-holes make it louder. Damn straight. That's just science. Let's go to F-hole cam. Check out meows. You can hear that center block. And it gets hollow. And then into the edge, but center block. What would you have to do? It would be like what's the end of I feel it's well, it could be. It's either that or I forget if it's these two or those two. I think it's the second one. I like a big guitar. They make me look smaller. Except, you know, this guitar has a slimming effect. We were looking for that in the house too. I need a house with a slimming effect. No small rooms. Gonna need big rooms. It'll get hot spots like a pure satin finish. It probably will, just because it's just enough matte where I think you could get a little glow. It's tough to say, because it's you know, Let me see if I can get to gloss cam. You know, unlike a pure satin, I don't know if I can get it just right, but you can, like, oh shit. Yeah, see, you can't really see it at that angle. But I was noticing, and you could literally see it's not a shadow, it's a reflection of my hand, right? It's not a shadow, it's a reflection. I just have too strong a light in one direction. But I was looking at it the other day, and I said, oh, no, it's reflective. It's not completely... It's more like semi-gloss. You know? Maybe a touch more eggshell, you know, leaning than semi. But it's still, you know... Yeah, it probably is going to get hot spots. Probably. We can only speculate. Do. The original punk band. People trying to pull us down. Lolly, lolly. That's the curly version. What's up, Ogre? Lord, Bill, Pasquale, Chuck. Steve always puts us down. No, not always. Just when you deserve it. I don't think I know Xanadu. That's a great one, though. Ben Coombs would approve of all this. Wherever he is. Ben Coombs. Up in Canada. That is good. Who played at the Hollywood Bowl yesterday? I was working the house next door. Got to get out there before the street shut down. Yeah. By all accounts, their appearance at Fenway, I wasn't there, but a lot of people were there locally. They all said it was really, really good. They sounded amazing. It was like a really outstanding show. Now, you wonder if it will, come out at the end of this whole tour on, like, some sort of, release, right? The final tour. And certainly maybe an album, live album. Maybe. I don't know. Why not? It's a blues SFB. Try to keep up, exactly. Oh, a friend of mine went to a jam, open jam, and these guys are like insanely talented. And he went up there, and they're like, yeah, let's do like a blues and C. He's like, okay. He's like, it's the most out there, crazy jazz. I'm like way, way off. I'm like, oh man. He goes, it was pretty bad. They were basically teaching me a lesson. That he was nowhere near where he thought he was. Mm-hmm. Do I still play in the band? No, not really. I have jammed with some friends, and I do that on occasion. But it's tricky to get everyone together, and recently it's been really busy because my father-in-law is getting, back home again, and there's a lot of challenges with that when you're not in like a hospital facility with, everything right there. So, we're getting there, though. I think a little bit better, like every day, a little bit. But there's probably some really big, like one thing I almost certainly will have to do is build a ramp off his back. So we looked into, having one put in, and they're like 3,500 and up. That's really going to be like $5,000 because he's kind of high. And I'm like, $5,000. I think I can get, a dozen 4x4s and a dozen, 2x6s or 2 dozen 2x6s and a dozen sheets of 1/2-inch plywood and some railing material, and I could probably build one for under $500, certainly under $1,000. The problem is you've got to be compliant with the grade, and the grade is pretty shallow, and you can't go a very long run. I think the max is 30 feet. And so like when you say his deck, I thought his deck was 5 feet high. So if you ask AI, hey, if I'm going from a 5-foot high platform, you figure let's go halfway, to a platform that's 2.5 feet high, and I have a max slope of 8%, then what is the distance? And they're like, it's 32 feet. I'm like, because I think the max is 30 feet. So I don't think it's going to quite line up. It's going to be just a friggin', it's going to be work. I probably need like friggin' 4 dudes simultaneously if I want to get it done on a single day. Because it's big, heavy pieces. I think I can just tie it right into his back deck. So the general feeling is when you have a ramp, you don't put it anywhere near the staircase. You put it on the other side of the staircase, because you don't want them accidentally going down the staircase. So there's like the staircase, and then usually on the other side of a platform, unless the ramp goes right over the staircase, which it's not going to do. We're going to still keep the staircase and just put it down the other end. So, should do it. 8% is steep, yeah, but that's the law. They'll allow 8%. It's an 8% gradient. That's the max. And nothing. That's the square root. Yeah. Well, I'm going to have to tear it into 2 runs. So I think what I could do is I could just go down. Listen, if you want to make this easy, you make there's a minimum, but there's no maximum, I think, on a ramp. Or it's pretty high. So I think I can make it 4 feet wide. So you don't even cut the plywood. The ramp is 4 feet wide, period. And the platform is 8 by 4. I mean, what are we doing? Right? It's like, don't overthink it, man. Just stick with the ones you have, right? With what you have. And I think you can just go down to a platform and then literally take a hairpin, a 180-degree turn and come back. So, yeah, exactly. It's slope, landing, slope. You make a landing and a turn. So I think that the way to do it is, you build a platform, calculate the distance, build a platform, connect the 2 using stringers, and then cover it with plywood. And you got yourself a ramp. The other thing you have to do is probably the ones closest to the deck. I'd have to see the actual height and see exactly how the tall one. Those might have to be like 10 feet. Everything else can be much lower. It can be 8 foot 4x4s. And then for the stringers, you can just get 8 footers. You don't need to go any more than that. So we'll see. You'd use deck boards. Well, the only thing is if I use the plywood, there's a paint out there. I could paint over it that's got sand in it that's actually really grippy. It's shockingly good, and it just seals it. It's like putting down it's almost like it really is like a deck covering, a coating. It goes on like, it's much thicker than ordinary paint. In fact, you can't even brush it on. You can only roll it on. And it's what I used on the trailer. And I have to say, the stuff is amazing. So I'd probably just do the floor with that. And then on the platform, got to drill some holes for drainage. Can't have water collecting there. So it's going to be quite the project. But I think bring all my tools up there. A couple of chop saws. Bring the air compressor. Get everything going. Zip, zip, zip. Let's get this done. Down, 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 down. And we're done, Yeah, exactly. There has to be a level platform every 30 feet. So. So, it's, again, I have to get there. If his deck is something more like 4.5 feet rather than 5 feet, I'm all set. That's much easier. If it's 5 feet, it starts to get interesting because you have to add more and more platforms. You can only run so far. Then it really starts to get out of control. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, they have to, 30 feet is the max run, and then you have to hit a platform. In fact, sometimes when they're going straight a long way, they just go level for a little while, if you look at some of them. Because they don't want to take a turn, but they just can't go completely continuously straight. Right, so the ramp goes down for a while, then levels off for a number of feet, and then starts its descent again. So. Was there a kitty back there? Yeah, matter of fact, I have a laser measurer that I've been using for years. This is by Bosch, and my wife put it through the laundry, and it broke. But actually, I don't know if I can. Yeah, there you go, a little bit. I took the batteries out of it and left it open for like a couple of weeks, and it's fixed. It's back to working again. In the meantime, I bought a different one. This one was like $40. This one was like $22. It can go much farther. It's a lot newer. But man, is it slow. I mean, that Bosch is like instant. This thing is, it takes its time to come up with a friggin' reading. So, maybe it's more accurate, I don't know, but so far it's been... but this can do things like calculate height based on Pythagorean's theorem, right? You can point it to 2 points, it'll tell you the height from where you are. You can pivot it to the bottom, to the top, it'll tell you the height between the 2 points. So you don't have to go and get under it. That's handy. It can also do area, and it can do volume. That's handy too, but it's not nearly as fast as this Bosch, which is pretty awesome. I thought about the bag of rice, but I don't think we had rice. I was like, we have rice around here? And I didn't see any, so I was like, oh, whatever. And I think I just, I opened it up. I took the flap off the back, and I took the batteries out, and just left it open. And forgot about it, actually, for like a couple of weeks. And then I was like, oh, maybe, let me check it. And it worked. I was like, oh, here we go. Because it was not working. So let me see here. We got new guitars this week. Where? Right there. Right there. So there's a couple of interesting things about this... this guitar, it's a Gibson Les Paul Custom 70s. And it's available in the 70s color, which the Sunburst was the 70s color. I'm not crazy about the Sunburst because the whole Les Paul Custom was meant to be like a black tie tuxedo thing. And this feels closer to like the more earth tones of a Les Paul standard. But, it's whatever you like. See, I really like this one. I would say the Alpine White, but it's a black back, which I'm not crazy about. If they went all white, sure. And then this is the wine red, which, if you're thinking 70s, this one might be the most 70s of all of them. The wine red one was very popular back then, without a doubt. I'm trying to see if they have. Yeah, so you see that? It's a black packet. Here's another big thing about it. They're $4,000, which sounds like a lot of money, but these are made in the regular production factory, not the custom shop. It's actually about $1,500 less, more. I think it's at least $1,500 less than the Les Paul Custom. I mean, we can check. Are they calling it? We just go to Les Paul. I guess it would be. Can we sort by price? Sure. That one's $20,000. Well, let's not go nuts. Those are triple pickups. But what's just a regular Les Paul? See, that's heavy aged. We don't want that. Heavy aged. Yeah, that's all custom historic and crap. I just want just straight up. No, I'd have passed it. That's 68. That's Access. There it is, 55. Yeah, about $1,500 less. Yeah, Les Paul Custom, straight up Les Paul Custom, right there. So definitely more money if you want the custom shop, Les Paul Custom, versus the production. It's like an extra $1,500. Can we go back to that 70s? Come on, where are you? There we go. There's the so it's got the volute on the back. That's a 70s thing. This little, but hey, I like the volute. This was to address the fact that their headstocks were snapping at an alarming rate, and I thought the volute was a nice way to sort of address that. And you don't really feel it when you're playing. It's sort of north of the playable area in the neck. Yeah, there's the wine red. That's a classic 70s look right there. And the sunburst. The sunburst was a thing, without a doubt. But again, the whole point of it was to be more black tie. And this is just, it's earth tones. Right? That's a jean suit, bro. Versus this. Black tie. Nice. I like it. You know what I'm excited for is that, these will come and, they'll start showing up in the used market, and maybe you can get one for, pretty good cash. Get yourself into a Les Paul Custom for decent money. Because you're already starting at a relatively low point at $39.99. So we'll see. Fender Vintera 2 road worn, which I'm not crazy about. Let's just call it what it is. It's stolen valor. The only good thing is they don't really seem to be too beat up. Right? It's like the body isn't all beat to crap like they were on some of them. It's just a little bit more aged, and then the back of the neck has got this friggin' sanding. See that? Because you asked for it. You wanted that. Good looking guitar, though. But it's not going to have the same checking, I don't think, that a lacquer guitar is going to have. Unless these are lacquer, but I doubt them. Let's take a look. Are they lacquer? That would be huge if they were. Anything. Product details. All right. The neck is lacquer. Oh, no way. Well, you seeing this? Full-blown lacquer, bro. All right. Okay. So is it checked, or is it just check ready? Check, please. Let's take a look here. Can we get a close-up look? Yeah, I'm not really seeing. Oh, yeah. There it is. See it? You see that? There you go. Right there. You have the spider webbing of the crackle. Release the crackle. Yeah, so Nitro, you know what? They're winning me over. Not gonna lie. Yeah, Nitro? Sure. $15.99 though. I'll wait till I find a used one. I don't like vintage tall frets either, though. Kind of a meh. So I turn into friggin' Harrison Ford. I don't like them. Like an old man sending soup back at a deli. Yeah, not bad. Let's see the other color. Black. Nice. And don't really see the checking in that one. A little bit. Check, please. A little dingy. A little ding in the front, right about there. Like the other one better. This is, you know, with the maple, obviously. The other one's rosewood, so they're trying to cover both bases. What else we got? We have 60s Telly. I'm assuming the same specs. I'm assuming it's also going to be, you know, nitro. And it's going to have some crap on the back. Yeah. See that? Let me sand it down a little bit. Make it look like you've been playing a long time. How long you been playing? A couple weeks. So how did you get came that way? That's hot. Comes pre-cracked. Some people wait years for that. Put in all kinds of hours. You? Shell out a few bucks. Nice. You know, I kind of like the solid color ones. I think the natural one is, you know, not a huge natural finish fan anyway. So, okay, and they have a bass. Okay, and they have a, what is that, Jazzmaster? Yeah, Jazzmaster. I'm gonna master that jazz. And they were played truly by the jazz masters. You're not just slamming power chords on a thing like that, right? Am I right? No? Just me? You can see the crackle up in the corner. It's got a bit of the crackle right there. We'll probably find it on another shot. See it? Yeah, no, these are quote unquote aged with the road worn. And by that it's seen 0 hours on the road. Well, that's all right. They never relic the frets. Huh. It just feels like, you know, a job partially done. Yeah. For such an old guitar, it does have some pretty slick hardware. '50s Jazzmaster. What was the other one? '60s? No, they're both '50s. Yeah, I gotta say, I did like that. I like that Strat. I thought it looked good. And if it's a '60s, I gotta think it's the small C. '60s C. I'm pretty sure that's one of their smaller necks. Without a doubt. All right. That might be it. I'm trying to think of what else came out this week. Well, the old Road Worn was different. The old Road Worn was poly, and they would run it through a machine that would sort of sand and beat up the body in the same spot every time. So the Road Worns all look kind of the same because it all went through the same process. You know, unlike a real custom shop where, you know, they make it unique to every single guitar. That, because it's a checking process that I'm sure is just a matter of warming it up and throwing it in the freezer. That's going to be fairly unique, because no two guitars are going to check exactly the same way. Oh, that's right. I think they're sold out though, Terry. I don't think you can get one. What is it? OTEMA? Is that how you spell it? Because I'm coming up with nothing here. I got nothing. Isn't it EGA? Vintera with an R. Oh yeah, right there. I think they're sold out. I think he said they were 100 made, built with I'm pretty sure he said they were sold out. I think if you shop now, we sold out. Ugh. Hold on. Oh, you keep looking at this. I'll be back in a sec. I left something on over there, and it's annoying the living shit out of me. Hold up. I'll be right back. Oh, much better. Much better. God. So since this is a successful run, I would assume you'd see more. Probably do another run. I think Badlands sold out of their run too. I think 100 guitars, right? They each did 100. So there's definitely a market. Exactly. I left the clamp in charge while I was away. So, this week, it's actually pretty humid most of the week. And then it got really humid, and then finally it's a touch of fall out there. It finally got back into like dry dew points. But I don't think it's going to last. I think we're going to get warm this week, back up into like the low 80s or something. So summer's not quite over yet. We're going to see a little bit more. But it was gorgeous today, and it should be tomorrow. And then I think it's going to start warming back up again. Yeah, Badlands does 100. Yeah. You have one of the hollow flashes. Great, yeah. Yeah, I can't drive ES-355. We need a Super Strat from Boston. Signature line. Sure. Hello, Brazil. Yeah, bro, just getting on after a new router on the network. Oh, that happens. It happens. In jeans today, yeah. Trimming bushes. Yeah, it was cool today. First, they said this was like sort of the coolest mornings we've had, like, of the season. It's slowly beginning. You know, we're getting there. Didn't I have the show Monday? No, Monday, this is a live show. The Monday show is a pre-recorded, which is why it's at a different angle. That is a fully produced triple cam show, where this one is just a mere, live stream. Dipping into the 40s overnight. Yeah, you know what? We could get down into the 40s. The 2 points in the 40s. So that represents as low as the temp could go. But we'll see. Days are getting shorter. We're before 7 p.m. now. So it's definitely, it's changing. Oh yeah? In mid-October, be out this way? Having some lobster. The lobster starts to go away. Well, not really. Some areas it's always there year-round, but it's way more of a summer thing, without a doubt. Like, everybody has a lobster roll in the summer. Yeah, recorded before a live studio audience, exactly. Yeah, we have 2 cams, not the 3 cam. We have a second cam, though. Wet evening in Newcastle. Boy, we could use some rain here. We are, we're pretty freaking dry, without a doubt. Yeah, I've been able to turn the AC off. Yeah, exactly. We were running the AC right up until in fact, I think yesterday morning we had it on. The dew point was like 65. It was cool, but it was friggin', moist. It was gross. I hate it. Clammy. You've never had a lobster roll? There's 2 different ways. So one way is warm with butter, and the other way is it's basically lobster salad on a hot dog roll, and they grill the roll. They grill the roll in a pan with butter, almost like a grilled cheese sandwich. You can either get it hot in butter or cold with mayonnaise, and usually like chopped celery and sometimes chopped onion will go in it. It's more like a chicken salad or a tuna salad, but it's lobster salad, where the other one is just lobster and butter. And it's warm, served warm. I'm 50-50. I can go either way. I think on a cold day, you much rather have the warm one. But the cold one, I tell you, there's just something about it. It's good, especially in the hot summer. So it just, they're both pretty damn good. Yeah, you like your lobster hot. Yeah, so some people really prefer one over the other. They're both pretty good. They both have their merits. Coach G Sam's actually sounds pretty good. I say I'm giving you ideas. House was 66 when you got up today. Yeah. Well, in the basement it really holds the heat. So it was like, it's 62 degrees out and it's 75 down here. It's just heat left over from the summer. Not ready to go. You never had lobster? It's actually pretty sweet. Have you ever had crab? It's not too far off from crab. Again, sort of a sweet, seafood. Cold is more refreshing on a hot summer day. I agree. Absolutely. We went to was it Mother's Day? I think it was Mother's Day. We went to was it Easter? But I think it was Mother's Day. We went to a Mother's Day, like, buffet at, like, a hotel ballroom, like, 2 or 3 years ago. 2 years ago. And they had lobster rolls, these little mini lobster rolls, and man, they couldn't make them fast enough. First of all, the lobster meat was freaking awesome. And secondly, they topped them with chive. It was cold. They had a cold one. They didn't have the warm. They only had the cold. And God damn if those weren't just amazing. Those little mini lobster rolls probably had freaking a half dozen. Like a slider, but man, they were so good. Lobster mac and cheese is in bed? Yeah. I think that a couple of times I've had it, I think that sometimes the heat makes the lobster a little tough. It's a little chewy. Right? You gotta have to have someone who makes it who knows what they're doing. Or else you have it gets a little rubbery. Cousin's main lobster food truck out in Nashville come down, yeah. There's a couple of lobster food trucks around here, but I'm trying to think of who has it. Well, there's Luke's in Boston, but it's kind of a tourist trap. Yeah, it's expensive. It's like $25, $29 a friggin' roll, and they're pretty small. They say the 99 restaurant. Oh, mussels. God, I friggin' love mussels. Mussels are the friggin' best. And the broth with the toast points. Oh, Oysters. I mean, you never had raw oysters? Pretty awesome. But as the saying goes, it was a brave man who first ate an oyster. Very brave. Probably pretty damn hungry. Hello, Detroit. Any plans for my big 60th that's coming up? No, let me just to explain how this goes. Your 50th, huge party. Your 60th, don't bring it up. That's what happens there. Yeah, boogers on the half shell. Oysters. I tell you, we used to go to this place. If you went during, like, they had a happy hour. Appetizers were half price, and they did dollar oysters, normally $3. I'd get a friggin' half dozen oysters. Oh my God, they were so good. So friggin' good. I know lobster was originally a peasant food. Oh, how times change. And if you ever had like raw clams, like you get one of the cherry stones or little necks, I think oysters are better. If I'm being, having had both. Cherry stones can be tough because they're bigger. Little necks are usually they're just smaller clams, so they're usually more tender. But it's still not quite the same as oysters. I still think oysters got them beat. Clam chowder and bread bowl, absolutely, man. Yeah, all the chowders. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the last time I had a fish chowder. I think only what I've had recently has been clam chowder or corn chowder, which is quite popular in the fall. And obviously a vegetarian dish. Yeah, no, mussels are the friggin' best. Nice big bowl. Broth. Admittedly, it's a lot of work for very little food. It just is. Yeah, I gotta love corn chowder. Chowder! I've come to Mass and want the goodness. Seafood Sam's, yeah. A lobster bisque. And a fisherman's platter. God, yeah. Can't go wrong with a fisherman's platter. Steve, your audio sounds louder and better than it used to. What did you do to make it better? I found out they actually make a volume knob. I know, right? I mean... So, anyway, turning this knob, I was able to increase my volume. What I found was that the output was already maxed out. You got to remember, I'm going back into the input on the system. And that microphone was set to very low. And I'm wondering if it was set low because I had something running into it that was just running really hot. I don't know. But it was set way down. And I just raised it up. Raise it up. Whoop, 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 whoop. And God, how do I forget? See, this is why I can never win an award. And, of course, the clamp. Never forget the power of the clamp. Clamping with the audio and making sure that you can hear me because... Tone clamp. You want to go to Red Lobster? I saw they had maybe it was about a year ago. They had a new CEO, young kid. And you know what? He sounded like he knew what he was saying. He's like, listen, we have to get rid of like endless shrimp. He goes, it puts a real burden on the service and the people in the back to make sure it's prepped. It's just way too much. He goes, it was just, we didn't find the value of getting people just in the door. And And he was actually pretty level-headed. He definitely sounded like he was, looking to make the franchise profitable again. Because I think they've been on and he basically said things like Endless Shrimp definitely like hurt not just their bottom line, but it really hurts morale. He said because everyone has to work extra hard in the kitchen, the wait staff has to work extra hard, and it's just too much of a burden, and it wasn't enough of a benefit. And he made a lot of salient points. I said, "Oh, this guy, he sounds like he knows what he's talking about." Well, Red Lobster he says Red Lobster in Michigan is disappointing. I think Red Lobster everywhere is disappointing, right? I mean, you don't go to Sizzler for a steak, right? Yeah, I mean, these are places you go when there's not literally nothing else. You're like, okay. I need to crowdfund the tone clamp. Come out with everyone's releasing, their own line of guitars, YouTuber guitars. I don't think there's any YouTubers putting out clamps. I'm just saying I could have the YouTuber clamp market to myself. Of course, I'd have to, this has been lovingly relicked by being left outdoors for about 2 years, giving it a rich patina. So I could probably just, do that, just buy a whole bunch, throw them out in the yard for a couple of years, and then sell them as relict tone clamps. Is Sizzler still? I don't even know. What was the other one we used to love that's gone? My kids used to love that place. Old Country Buffet, which is also branded, I think, Old Country Kitchen, depending on where they are. It's the same thing. It's the same. But they would brand them differently in different parts of different markets, different parts of the U.S. Exactly, it has checking built right in. Has Buddy noticed the tone clamp yet? I don't think so. But Buddy hasn't walked down here in a while. That little board right there gives him pause, and he doesn't go over the top. So, because he's got this box here. So he's been between this little board right here and that box right there. He doesn't walk down here like he used to. Which I'm pretty happy about, because he used to jump on my friggin' mixing board and run across it. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh my God, the Ponderosa. Don't even get me going on York Steakhouse. What's the other one? Buca di Beppo. Yeah, Ponderosa's gone, sure. I tell you, around here, Denny's is really gone out. We had like one up on the North Shore, I think in Reading, and I think maybe they even finally closed. Yeah, we have like one Long John Silver's. There's like none of them around here, but there's like one, and it's got like a Taco Bell in it. Because I don't even think the Long John Silver's can last on its own. Is the tone clamp weight relief? It has the modern weight relief. Yeah. Denny's close by me. Yeah, I feel like the Denny's footprint around here has been shrinking. Without a doubt. Used to have a handful of them around here, and they all seemed to, one by one, sort of closed up. You know what? We looked the other day. The who's that? Jasper White's Summer Shack. The one on, is it Belvedere Street or right next to Belvedere Street? In the Back Bay. They closed. We were just there a year ago. For my daughter had an exhibit at school because she's going to art school, and she had an exhibit. We went down for that, and then we had to wait like an hour and a half for her to finish up. So we said, we're going to go grab a drink. And we went out and we went there. We went over to Summer Shack, got some calamari, a couple drinks. It was great. And so we have another one of those coming up. And I said, well, why don't we head over to Summer Shack? We'll go get, and we looked, and they were closed. They're gone. Closed down. I was like, oh no. Dave's Hot Chicken is opening up around here like crazy. They're one that's really growing. Dave's. Big time. It's a very limited menu. But it's still growing. Growing in leaps and bounds. They're everywhere. There's a new Denny's in South Attleboro. Oh my God, I can't think of the last time one opened. I just think about them as always being, closing, quite frankly. There was one, I want to say it was in like Reading. There was one in, where's Hanscom Airfield Base? Is that Bedford? Something like that? Or Concord? And there was one down there. I think they closed. Yeah, we don't have a Steak and Shake around here. We don't have a White Castle around here. Nothing like that. We have a Shake Shack, but those are sliders at burger prices. No orders too big, no prices too big. We don't have a Houston's Hot Chicken. You know who did come in to compete with Dave's because Dave's was just expanding so quickly was Birdie's. So we have a Birdie's Hot Chicken. So Dave's was coming in everywhere, but not too close to us. It was still quite a drive and into actually some very congested areas if you wanted to get Dave's Hot Chicken. So Birdie sensed that, and they opened up one like kind of in our area. Not quite right in our area, but close enough. And then Dave's moved, again, not right in our area, but close enough that it's not too far of a drive. Like a 15, maybe 20-minute drive. Yeah, no White Castle, nothing like that. Though I tell you this, when I go to California and I go to Habit Burger, it's always pretty damn awesome. You know, you order the burger, the guy makes the burger right up right there. It's always so fresh and so awesome. There's one here, there's only one in all of New England. And I went there recently with my wife, and it was pretty damn awful. The bun was burned. He had a whole bunch of pre-cooked patties sitting up on a pile of onions. I said, I hope that's not going to be our friggin' patty. It was. Everything felt old and just assembled. And I was like, man, this is... She was like, man, you're always talking about this place. It's pretty bad. I go, the one in California is nothing like this. This is just lazy. We're not going to make you one fresh. I said, I've walked into the one in California. I'm the only one in the place. And they make me up one fresh. You know, this place, it's like they had a whole bunch of pre-made stuff. It was pretty bad. I was like, damn. You know, you're ruining everything that's cool about Habit Burger, and that is when you ordered it, it was made to order. We don't have Jack in the Box around here. We don't have a Whataburger or anything like that, and we certainly don't have In-N-Out. No, nothing like that. We're pretty much McDonald's, Burger King. You know, with McDonald's, I mean, my town, and I am not even making this up, my town has 3 McDonald's. I'm just saying. They picked a restaurant. It's McDonald's. I think 1 Burger King. And I think we had a Taco Bell, but it was only temporary because there was another one that was being worked on in another town. And so they needed a temporary one for the area. Well, that one got worked on. We got Panera Bread everywhere. They seem to be cropping up. We have a smash burger. I tell you, I'll try him again, but I think I've been to Smash Burger maybe twice, maybe 3 times. It was noticeably salty, and I'm not one to complain about salt. But I remember biting into that burger and going, whoa, damn, that is salty. That is, whoa. And I'm usually not very sensitive to that, you know? But it was noticeable. No, I will say this, Mr. Devins. I thought the onion rings were made fresh. I swear to God, they assembled those burgers and we sat around waiting for those onion rings to come up. And they're like, here you go. And I was like, well, the onion rings are piping hot, but damn, that this burger doesn't feel like the saddest, like non-cooked. Or been sitting there. I was like, you're kind of bumming me out here, bro. Yeah, we got Wendy's. We didn't have Wendy's here for the longest time because we had one come in the area and it was burnt to the ground. And I think, Wendy's, if you're not familiar with an area and you put a Wendy's in and they burn it to the ground, then, they don't come back. And they didn't come back for, I swear to God, 20 plus years. Longer. That Wendy's probably went in like 1980 and was burned down by 81. And then they came back in like 2020. Like 40 friggin' years. Five Guys is pretty good. Five Guys is pretty. We have a bunch of Five Guys. Five Guys is pretty. I think they're one of the best made to order burgers out there. I want to give Smash Burger, a chance, but I tell you, they're not. The one thing about it's not the same salt content as the Smash Burger. Damn. Too bad in New Jersey habit is so good. Yeah, because they probably follow the right. Listen, when I go to the one in L.A. and I walk in there and I order it, that guy, I can see him cooking my friggin' burger. He puts it out, he cooks it up, they're putting everything else together. Someone's doing the onion rings, someone's doing my burger, and they put it all together, and I can see it happening. And I could just tell that they did not do that in this case. And that, when I tell you the bottom side of that friggin' bun was black, and I'm usually not one to complain about things being overdone, but, I mean, full on black. Oh, it was a char. What do they call that? Something like the char patty or something? Double char? Single char, double? Oh, it's char, all right. Ask them for less salt on the smash burger. Yeah, I could. The Drunks at 2 a.m. at the best Waffle House. Yeah. See, in Boston, we didn't have a Waffle House. Anyone from Boston knows if you're drunk, or not even drunk, you're just up and out, and it's 2:30 a.m. because all the bars just closed, and now you're starving. Where are you going to eat? We all know the answer, and the place isn't good. Where did everybody go at 2:30 a.m.? Come on, somebody has got to know that. You're in Boston. It's like 2:30 in the morning. Maybe you're drunk, maybe you're not. You're starving. Everything is closed but one place. Which place would be open? and you could go and get something in the middle of the night. Anyone remember? Razzie's close, but no. Not Denny's. Definitely not Denny's. Not a Chinese place. Not a Chinese place. Chinese places were closed. Little Stevie's would have been closed by then. I think they closed at midnight. Yeah, you see, not enough Bostonians. They don't know. It would have been a little bit past Government Center, down the hill, pretty much right before you get to Stereo Drive. On the right-hand side, Buzzy's Roast Beef. Buzzy's Roast Beef was this shithole that probably didn't pass any sort of health inspection. I'm going to see if I can find a picture of it. This place, I mean, you want to talk about a dump. It was almost like a newspaper stand, right? It was a stand. You couldn't walk in. You just walk up. There'd be lines for Buzzy's Roast Beef. Let me see if I can find a picture of it. Buzzy's Roast Beef, Boston. Images. Yeah. Yeah. Right there. There's Buzzy's. Buzzy's Roast Beef. Like literally on the side of the road. That's, I think, the leading up to Stereo Drive. Right, this is coming to the expressway. Boston Buzzy's Roast Beef, located next to the Charles Street Jail. Oh, my God. Yeah, the Orpheum, the Music Hall, oh my God, the Pussycat, and Tony's, the Naked Eye, God, the Naked Eye, that friggin' place. What a friggin', I remember hanging out front of the Naked Eye, God. And the Rat. Yeah, God, Buzzy's Roast Beef, that friggin' place. I wonder if anyone... Oh, yeah. There's a good shot. Yeah. So there's a good shot of it right there. Right there. You can see the jail. Right, there's Buzzy's. And then there's the jail behind it. 1980. Yeah. Yeah, head down to Buzzy's. And, God... just absolute garbage. Oh, just like the worst. The friggin' worst. And they had the dairy dip. Yeah, God. No. All right. Anyway. That jail is a hotel now. You want to guess the name of the hotel? That is now... I've been in that hotel. I went there for a Christmas party one year. I've been in what was formerly the Charles Street Jail and now is a hotel. Of course, it is the Liberty Hotel. You can't make that up. Exactly. They take, Buzzies would take cigarettes, right? I say bring back Buzzies. The problem is Buzzies couldn't afford to be there. That land is worth just so much money. It's so, right? It's the land becomes so friggin' expensive that they can't ignore just selling the whole thing off to a developer, which is, I'm sure, what they did. You only come for the historical, sure. Just make your burgers at home, sure. But, you know, I mean, science has proven that a sandwich made by someone else tastes better. Just does. Burgers made by other people taste better than burgers you make yourself. Last thing you want to do when you're done making a freaking burger, you know, is eat. You're like, God, I'm so hot. I'm making this burger. Yeah, Jailhouse Rock. I think that's Smoking in the Boys' Room. I'm also finally starting the porch work on the front porch. That'll probably take 8 weeks, but it's got to start at some point. We're finally getting there. It's all just a blues riff and B. Look, it's just Turtles. It's Turtles all the way down. Buzz, yes, 5 stars on Yelp, sure. Listen, at 2:30 in the morning, when there's nothing else open, and you're pretty damn drunk, Buzzy's is a 5-star restaurant. just by default. You would definitely sub to SFB Carpentry. I tell you, I have 2 big projects going on. Finally going to do the front porch, and I got to do that friggin' ramp. I think if I get enough people together, I could probably, I'm thinking I can bang it out in one day. Just one day. Just go up there. They have actually, my brother-in-law has a pickup truck. So we can just take his pickup truck over and load it up with the, the wood. Because my wife was like, well, maybe you could just take the trailer and load it up. I said, I don't think I want to take the trailer on the highway. I don't know. I'm comfortable taking that thing, for a 45-minute drive up the highway. Yeah, I'm thinking no. So that last guy did, but he was a maniac. I mean, I said maybe. I think we should just use her brother's friggin' pickup truck. Tell you, Steve, pizza beer party, yeah? Want free labor? I'm 30 minutes. Yeah, we'll see. I gotta see. I gotta round up the usual suspects, and of course, my wife's nephew, who, I keep forgetting, is 30. I'm like, oh right. She's like, well, David can help. I'm like, David's a kid. She's like, David is 30. I'm like, oh right, because of the immutable passage of time. Right. Exactly. Hey, Chuck, this is your cut. Oh my, there's a few of those comments when I had this out. Yeah. You forget his blues chops, Marvin. When I think about it. Is it in D? Right. Is it starting D? Yeah, D. Steve from Boston, I really like the show. Enjoying the cool weather near Albany. Yeah, cool weather here too. I'm pretty happy about it because I have a lot of outdoor work to do, and I melt like a friggin' crayon in the sun. So I need a cool breeze. Yeah, then A, right? Something like that. something like I can hear it, but I can't see it, you know. 30 minutes. Kramer's great. I always love that. Am I hearing cat butts? I'm seeing cat butts. It was a cat butt. Cat tail. Cat butt, cat tail. You toy with any funk chops? I dabble. I am funk curious. Well, the greatest funk song ever. What's some of the other James Brown? Or probably need the bridge. Notorious. Or Hiram Bullock. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Probably have to go clean. Probably. I'm just playing the percentages on that. I used to have a real good. You lose that. We'll stick with that for a couple minutes. Turn them all up. Sometimes for funk, you just have to get the right hand going. There's a metronome. Really. So what's the verdict on the Epi branded Gibson ES-355? I really like it. You know, I think it's a fine instrument jack. Oh, except that when you pull it away, it does pull the strap off. Strap on, strap off. You got the Grovers. Ooh, I just don't want to bang the table. Don't bang with the strap on. Words to live by. Wish they would do away with the 3-screw truss rod covers on the Epi branded. Well, that's a tone screw, Terry. Now, you might want just 2 tone screws. But I think, you know, if you want to level up from the Gibson, which only has 2 tone screws, 3. You say, well, is 3 tone screws better than 2 tone screws? And the answer is, well, it's 1 better now, isn't it? That's just math. So I wouldn't lament the extra screw. I would celebrate it. What's my background for music? Pretty much what you see here. That's it. And we are playing the guitar, and I'm playing the guitar because it's playing the guitar, and we have tone clamps and 1 extra screw. Exactly. 4 would be too many. 3 is a sweet spot. You know? I can put a clamp on, we're all set. See? People thought I was crazy, but now they're realizing. They're seeing the results. Tone clamps. Do I ever use that Hughes and Kepner amp in the back? Yeah, you know, once in a while we'll turn it on. Goes, this thing still light up? Oh, look, no, that's going. Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh, you know what? In the winter when it's really cold in here, I'll turn it on. It acts as a nice little space heater. Turn it on then. It's great. Yeah, when you have company over, maybe. Not really. Have a good one, Mark. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, spinal strap. There you go. Looking forward to some football. My team won a game. Woo! Woo! So we'll see. And the Red Sox are trying every way to friggin' blow it. We'll see if they can. Is it time to panic yet? Sure. You gonna buy a mandolin this week just for Stonehenge? Sure. Stone Edge. No one knew who they were or what they were doing. You ever hear the his basis for Nigel? He said he was in the airport, or oh no, he was checking into a hotel, and a band was ahead of him checking in, and the manager turns around and goes, "Where's your bass?" He goes, "I don't know." What do you mean you don't know? I think I might have left it at the airport. Why would you leave your bass at the airport? I don't know. It's like, I can imagine this poor manager. Yeah, the Red Sox might be done. We'll see. So when is the Spinal Tap movie out? I don't think is it out yet? I don't think so, right? I think it's a few more weeks. Oh my God, they've been really promoting it. It is definitely on every promotion. Because I've been seeing them everywhere. Was Buddy just here? Oh, Buddy is here. That's Buddy Love. Buddy J Love. Sure. Love the channel. You're a great guitarist. Keep jamming. DJ Chuck. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. 15 minutes. Wow. That night sort of flew by. Is it out now? Is it already in theaters? Yeah. It's out already? Yeah. I felt like there's been a lot of promo, so usually that's right around the time of release. I'll wait till it's on streaming or cable or streaming cable. Was it at the airport and he left it at home, or was it at the airport and he left it at the hotel? Maybe they were at the airport and they had left it at the hotel. He's like, where's your bass? He's like, I left it at the hotel. They're like, what? It was one or the other. Oh, my God. The managers. It's like herding cats. Remember that band? Look out, Bill. Stumpy Joe. Oh, I think it's Ed Begley Jr. Right. I used to know it. Stop messing around. You know what I want. Or maybe you don't. So people do wrong. No people do right back. So people do give me some money. Give me some money. Right. Yeah, right. Stop messing around. Don't know what I want. Or maybe you don't. Like that. Don't ever do it. Give me some. Give me some money. I'm nobody's fool. I'm nobody's clown. You big. Right. The best line in that is, your face is okay, but your purse is too tight, right? I'm looking for pound notes, loose change, bad checks, anything. Oh, God. Perfect. Yeah, I heard the same thing. Yeah, Lars makes a cameo. No drummer wants to join the band because they're worried about being killed. And they're like, what's the chances? I mean, we've already lost so many. I mean, just the law of averages. You wonder if the police will ever decide that Stumpy Joe's bizarre gardening accident is worth investigating. That at the time they felt it was better left unsolved. Listen to the flower people sing. Listen. Yeah, the only thing left was a green globule. He choked on his own vomit. Well, we're not sure he choked on vomit. His own vomit? Well, see, we're not sure. You can't really dust for vomit. Listen. This is a 355. It's not in the 330 series. It's in the 350 series, which is a little crazy because, you know, normally when I think of a 355, I think of the beak knob. It should have an extra beak knob, right? With a bunch of, I think it's a bunch of capacitors, right? To change it's basically a high pass filter. And you can dial in more high pass, I think. But they don't have it on this. When Spinal Tap came out, I think we watched Spinal Tap and Repo Man on the same night. We rented them from our local video store, as was the style at the time. And I remember loving Spinal Tap so much and being kind of bummed they weren't a real band. I really liked the songs. I'm like, I would enjoy this. I really like this band. Yeah, the Veritone switch, yeah. .355 is 20 more than 335. That is a good point. How much better is it? Well, it's 20 better now, isn't it? That's just math. My baby face. And then Tonight, I'm going to rock you tonight, which is, of course, from the Redundant Department of Redundancy. I saw Spinal Tap live. In fact, I could have seen them when the movie came out. They played the Channel or the Paradise. Might have been the Channel. And I know someone who went and said, yeah, I don't know. It just seemed like the whole thing was like a big goof. I'm like, you cannot even be serious. This is like a dude who the whole Spinal Tap movie went right over his head. You see that way up there? See it way, way, way up? You see that? That's the joke going over your head. That dude. Yeah, we went there. I don't know. I had to work that day. I think they played on a Saturday, and it was a matinee. And I had to work, as I did like every Saturday for like 20 years. Like every friggin' Saturday I worked. And, yeah. I was working. I'm pretty sure it was the Channel. Oh, no, he completely missed it. He was a total metalhead. You see, I went and saw Spinal Tap. I don't know. It felt like the whole thing, like they were just goofing around. And I'm like, you cannot even be serious right now. Oh, did it? Huh. Wow, that's just so not like them. When they played the Channel, did the roof leak? I don't know. That could be. Is that a bit of trivia? It was raining out that day and the roof leaked? I wouldn't doubt it. Well, I think if there's a band out there keeping the Spinal Tap tradition alive, it's Steel Panther. They're basically an R-rated version of Spinal Tap. The Channel, July 7th, 1984. Yeah, so I know. I went to a Buckethead show, and the guy like wore some hat and mask all night. Oh, really? Huh. Yeah, you know what? You might be right, Tony. He probably did think it was a documentary, and not the mockumentary or rockumentary, is I think how they plugged it. I did a matinee all ages show and then a second show adults. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember it was a matinee because I don't think I was I 21? I doubt it. I was probably 18 or 19, probably 18. I think I was still in high school. I know, 4 minutes, jeez. 3 minutes on my end. You're on a delay. So that's how that goes. Though, who did I go see? And it felt like it was a spoof, but it wasn't. They were total on. I don't think they were joking at all. Might have been Raven. Right? With the guy, the drummer, wearing the hockey helmet or something, which like fireworks blew out of during his drum solo. We were dying. Two-minute warning. I'm getting there. I tell you, I did use AI to calculate the ramp. Made short work of it. I'm like, oh, you got to go here. And I could even just tell it, make it compliant with Massachusetts laws. And it just did. I said, yeah, I need a ramp off a deck to be compliant with Massachusetts laws. And they were like, okay. Well, you have they totally worked the whole thing out. It was right, too. I checked their work. The work was correct. So pretty good. Thanks, Speaker. We'll talk soon. Yeah, Wacko on drums. I think that sounds right. I think you're right. Wacko on drums. That sounds correct. You know. Oh man. Oh, what's this? Hold on. Nope, nothing. So I have a pretty awesome guitar. I shot the video today. Video all shot. It is the complete opposite of this guitar right here. Think of everything about this guitar, and it's the complete opposite. So, I try to mix it up. It was either this or another guitar that was, I think, a little bit more vintagey. And so I said, well, this is kind of on the vintagey side. And then I had one that was way more modern. And the complete opposite of what this is. And then I had the other vintagey one. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go modern. And then we can do the vintagey one the week after that. And we just sort of mix it up. Try to be... Every week is now for something completely different, compared to the prior week. So I'm trying to mix it up if I can. So check out Monday's video. I had a lot of fun shooting it today. It was a pretty awesome, fun guitar, and I think you're gonna like it. So check that out on Monday. I would like to say I might be doing another video this week, but I don't think so. I'm trying to get this teleport video done, but which is impossible. But it's killing me because all the work I'm with my father-in-law, and it's been super busy, super busy. But we'll see. Could happen, maybe. We'll see. I think I've got 2 doctor's appointments I have to take him to this week, so kind of kills your whole day. All right. You rock. You have a wonderful week. I will see you next week. Until then, have a great week. And we'll do it all again next week. And thanks to everyone for hanging out. A super special thanks for anyone contributed. And, of course, Brofish to the Mod Squad. Hashtag Brofish. Hashtag Mod Squad. Hashtag Ben Coombs. All right. You guys have a wonderful week. I'll see you next week. And there you have it.